Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on approximately a 39-year-old from Cardiff, Wales. His hockey journey has taken him to Wales, England, and Austria. He's the pod's favorite equipment manager and was featured in episode 20 right after my grandmother Grace. And he is part of the best pregame speaking team of all time. And his episode now has been listened to 382 times. He's a Challenge Cup winner. That's about all I know because the research team is unprepared. Because welcome back to the shed for an impromptu hump day catch-up. David Owen, better known as Dease.
Good evening or good morning to you, Wally.
Oh, no, it's lunchtime.
So what's going on, brother?
I just wanted to chat and catch up, man. So your season started?
Season started. I think we're 12 games in. I'm not really sure.
Do you actually want to know? You're 10 games in and are
10.
And Marty only played 8 of them. Why? Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt. Not telling you what he did, but he was hurt, so he had to sit 2.
Is he better?
He's fine. He just twisted left eyelash, but he'll survive.
Okay, yeah, he's not the type of guy like to just sit out. So I was a little curious. Okay, so how we know each other. This is just a half episode. This is just one of the catch-up ones. So
just the pickups.
Yeah, we'll make this one 85.5. Okay.
Do it.
Do it. Okay. Let's see here. So after our episode 20, there's been a few things happen in the hockey world that we relate to here. After that episode, you asked me for Marty's phone number. And and he was signed to be a Cardiff Devil. And I guess he's playing for you guys now, eh? Wasn't my fault, fans. It wasn't my fault.
I'll take the full blame. It was all my fault. We were looking for a centerman that could put up numbers, had some grit, didn't mind going to the dirty areas,
and can play the defensive zone well. Pretty much do it all. Good looking,
two-way,
great body.
Well, let's not go that far. Well, he's not that good looking, just average guy.
If that guy's 2 inches taller, he's in the NHL.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's 5'4".
He's not.
Same
he's
height
taller
as you?
than. I think he's got an inch on me.
In every department.
Good gosh, you look like you're gonna fall asleep. Like you just ate, eh? So you had to get straight horizontal and just get the barrel up, eh? Let it breathe, baby.
Well, I'm in my apartment. I got a nice little 1-bed. Like if you'd called an hour earlier, I would have taken you on the balcony, showed you the sunset, but now it's just pitch black outside, so there's nothing to really show.
Isn't it only 6:30?
Yeah, but you were in Germany.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man.
And also we're in the mountains. Once that thing goes behind the mountain, boom, done.
Oh, so once it gets behind the mountain, it'll probably get dark a lot earlier because of the gosh darn mountain, eh?
Yeah, we're up in the mountains. We're in a little micro bubble.
I was going to ask you about that. Is there skiing there?
Not here. We can drive about 45 minutes and we can go skiing and stuff. But last year they had record snowfall because obviously last year we had Bouncy, and Bouncy's one of Bouncy's questions. Let me sit up a little. One of Bouncy's questions was, "What's the snow like?" And I said, "Oh, well, we probably had snow for like 2 days." My first season here, and then last year we had snow for like 2 weeks, and we'd go through the tunnel at the mountain and come out, and we were in 6-foot snowdrifts, so it was insane.
Yeah, I guess every climate could be different around Europe with the mountains and stuff, because even in Germany, you drive 1 hour, there's no snow, and then all of a sudden you're up some mountain and there's snow everywhere.
Yeah.
So
bonkers.
Other thing I was going to bring up here is my first game coaching an exhibition there. Dease, I could have used you.
You should have called me.
Well, I guess we don't have an equipment guy. Never really thought of that. Didn't really bring any tools with me.
Under 11s don't really carry one.
Well, so, Colby's helmet, the clip came right out of the helmet, like where it screws in. So that came right out with the clip thing in it. and I couldn't
Oh,
pull it
so
out.
yeah,
It was stuck in there, and my hands weren't strong enough. And yeah,
you need needle nose pliers and then a screwdriver to put it back in.
right. I didn't have those things. And then the ref's
No.
telling me that he can't go out until it's fixed. So I was in a predicament, and we were losing. And, we missed a couple shifts trying to solve the problem. And eventually we just took the whole strap off, and he only played with one strap, and the ref was none the wiser.
Or you could have just taped it around his head. That would have worked too.
I don't know. There's a lot of rules around here, you know?
Oh, it's not like when I grew up when they didn't care. When I played junior, we had to have. Do you have to wear neck guards and stuff over there?
Yeah. But I remember in junior, you'd tape them up, right? So they were just tiny.
No, you just wear a Nike turtleneck and say, "Yeah, it's a neck guard," like Gretzky did.
I couldn't see you in a turtleneck, Dease. I don't think you'd be able to breathe properly.
Why? It's got to cut it here.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
let her breathe.
You know,
yeah.
Otherwise, my sixth chin doesn't get enough oxygen in, and I go dizzy.
Well, I tell you, I literally couldn't be happier. I thought of this podcast, man, because I needed some excitement in my life, and then I was like, "Geez, I want to talk to Dease," and now we're catching up, right? Like I wouldn't
call
5
that
years.
Excitement.
It is for me. I went 5 years not really talking to anybody, right? And then life just carries on, and you don't really know what everybody's doing. Now I know what you're doing. Love this shit.
Sat in my bedroom. Oh, look at the world's biggest projector I bought.
I saw that in the background. I was wondering why you have a projector in your bedroom.
Well, last year, Bouncy bought a little one, and I bought one too, and it was really good. And then,
so you're just putting it right on the wall like your TV shows?
Yeah, we got perfect white walls here, and but the picture wasn't very good. And then when I got back here this year, I had some tip money left over in cash and stuff. And my buddy Lee back home, you probably know him, Lee and Jody Henriksen. They own CDC. So Lee had a cinema room done this summer, and I asked him what projector he got, and he said this one. Not this one, the model down from this one. And then I typed his one in, and this one was cheaper. So I splashed a lot of money that I don't want to publicly announce. What
you always made some really weird financial decisions, Dease.
Yes.
Back when I would say, equipment managers weren't making a ton in, say, Cardiff, like when you're just getting started, it's your first time ever. And, a lot of it went to Chew. A lot of it went to Skoll, right?
Yeah. The Skoll man, me and the Skoll man were real good buddies, but it'll be 3 years February I've quit chewing, so that's good.
Good for you, bud.
So I do miss it every day, but I save a shitload of money.
No kidding. Now you got the projector for whatever you want to put on the wall, eh?
Yeah, that's good. When she goes out, get to put some things on the screen.
I understand.
Play Nintendo.
Mario Kart.
Oh, I got Mario Kart. Sick.
Yeah, it is fun. I play with the kids. Okay. Next question then is for Devils fans. There's another forward Devil on that team that did not return my hook I threw in the water through Instagram. Is Benny Blood.
Oh, Mr. Benny Blood. He's pretty busy right now because his wife is his girlfriend is when's she due to give birth? Early January. So he's pretty busy running around getting
everything prepared,
all the baby stuff. Yeah, and taking her to scans and checkups and
buying baby seats or car seats and strollers. Magical time in your life, right?
It's just amazing. Just amazing. But I'll tell him tomorrow morning when I see him in the room.
Yeah, you call him out and let him know that I tried to reach out. Doesn't say he's seen it, but he did not respond. But he seems like a character, because the reason I reached out to him was when he was in Cardiff, he did something, whatever it's called, like a vlog or something.
He did a vlog, yeah.
And he did a video like in the locker room in Cardiff, and it was really cool. And he seemed like a character, and he was making good content. So I figured he'd be a good conversation for me.
He's bald as a cue ball now. When he was in Cardiff, he had the big like blonde fro, but I think it went back a little. So
you could say it receded.
Yeah, I think he had to admit defeat and just buzz it.
And so in the pod, we'd probably call that catenaccio. That's where you back up to the blue line and just trap. But that's what his hair did. Eh? Yeah, doing the catenaccio.
It was definitely doing the catenaccio.
Okay, well, you let him know that the fans of the pod want him. Okay.
I got the fans of the pod. If anyone wants to buy some Ben Blood jerseys, I got 2 for sale. Pre-season specials, £200.
Holy moly! Now you're the only one.
Look at that.
You're the only one making money at this. Stop it.
No, you gotta pay it straight to the team account. I'm not getting involved in cash.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, exciting news for my podcast there, Dease. And you were one of the guys that helped start this for me. Was I'm not going to get emotional talking about this stuff. There's a guy in the UK that was nice enough to build a website. It's pretty well ready and it's pretty slick and it's really mind-blowing to see it. But anyways, I can't talk very well right now. But I've decided the vision moving forward, Dease. You know?
Tell us.
I don't think I'm prepared.
Take a breath, Wally. Take a breath.
Take a breath. I don't think I'm not ready. No, I'm not going to get sponsors. I'm not going to ask the big company or the big guys to pay me, and then I have to talk about it.
Whoa. What about Bayfield Brewing?
Oh, they're the title sponsor. They just got to give me free beer. That's all I need. They give me the free beer. Yeah. No, I spoke with them today and let them know my vision, and they seem very happy with it. But no, they'll be the sponsor. Basically, the only one, really, kind of.
Ask them if they ship to Austria. Me and Marty need some navigating lieutenants.
You sure do. But actually, they are only in Canada right now. But so my vision is I don't want to get big sponsors where I have to talk about shit I don't want to talk about. I want to keep this just for me and the boys and the fans that enjoy it. And on this website, you can tip the podcast. So if you realize I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to do this shit for you, you can tip me. I'll be like a stripper that like doesn't take his clothes off. I just talk to men like Dease. And then you would tip me for doing that instead of dancing or what have you. Say like a waitress bring food. I'm going to bring podcasts and I'll bring you a lot of them depending on how much I get tipped. But I think this is the best way to keep it real. And then, I can at least get compensated for what I'm doing. And I think there's enough people writing and listening that I think this will go fine. And I don't think I'll have to be a sellout and go to the big sponsors, right?
So can I tip you in food vouchers for your local doner kebab shop?
We don't really have one, but I would have accepted that.
we have, they're everywhere here. Like everywhere.
I know. I lived in Germany. That's not that far away. And they're better, aren't they? Aren't they better than the UK's?
They're all chicken though. It's real hard to find a lamb one.
Really?
Yeah, I had
You're
one
in
the
a
day
weird
up in the
place
city.
then,
It was
man.
good. Yeah, I got 2 right outside the apartment.
I had a hard time finding the chicken.
Oh, that's the dream. I'd rather a lamb than chicken any day.
No kidding. Yeah, you don't need chicken. Everybody eats chicken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm Welsh. It's got to be lamb, you know?
Well, and then the final thing I was going to say, and because I'm impatient, I was going to talk about this with Simsy in episode 100, but I'm impatient. But my idea behind this is because I'm doing it for fun and I wasn't doing it for the money. Quite a bit, we'll say, of the money will be donated to hockey charities around the world. You know, those ones that pop up every year that you wish you could donate, but you can't. Well, if you're tipping me throughout the year, if you're listening to a couple episodes a week and you throw me a couple bucks, then just know it's going to go to a good place. Because I think I've proved myself that I'm not a douchebag in the first 85 episodes, right?
I fully agree, and I fully support the charity initiative and drive.
Yeah.
So anything I can do for you there, just let me know. If you need a signed jersey or something and we'll raffle it, I don't know. We can figure it out.
There's a lot of ideas we could come up with, because we could put that on the website and then people, whatever, bid or something, right?
We can make it happen. I can get you.
There's so many ideas.
Signed stick from J-Marts or someone.
Oh dear, people pay for that shit.
I don't know. He's getting old. He's not so
Really?
much of a hot dog, you know.
Really?
Slowing down.
He doesn't look like he's aging.
No, he's fucking not aging.
Mm,
Looks better every day.
he does look good. I saw him on a paddle board like years after playing with him, and I was like, "Puh, what the heck?"
He struts around the room wrapped in a towel every day, and I'm like, hey, come on.
Yeah, it's not
you
fair.
doing?
It's not fair. And he's got the tattoo on the shoulder, wherever, like on the chest there too, right?
Yeah.
Horse shit. Okay, moving on. Your team has had 3 goalies play in 10 games.
Yep.
That's not good.
No, our goalie got injured. I think he's only played 1, maybe 2 games all season, our goalie.
Can I ask, is it, because I didn't know these people, but the research team got on it pretty quick here. Is it Anthony Peters?
Yep.
It says he's from Blythe, Ontario. Do you know that's like right around the corner from here?
Oh,
he looks like a podcast dream. I know goalies can be weird, and I don't know this guy, but awesome. It says he played for Listowel, which is right here. He played for the Florida Everblades, which is where the Lonnie Kai is, and he's played in Europe, and he's now playing with you. So he needs to come on. Can you talk to him?
I can talk to him, not a problem. And there's a Cardiff Devils connection, because when he was in Wilkes-Barre, he was coached by the Devils' new coach, Jared Scaldi.
Oh.
So it's
a small world when you get talking.
It's a very small world. And another connection for you is you had Matt Carruth the other day, who played in Ferrivar, and that's where our little French friend, Mr. Gleason Fournier, is this season.
He's in Ferrivar?
Ferrivar.
He's there? So I didn't. Yeah, I talked to him about coming on, and he said he'd come on, but he was busy for a couple of weeks, and then I kind of got sidetracked. But that's where he is, eh? Maybe we could get something started. I wonder what he likes. It's probably not Twix, but maybe we get something going.
Brutal rink, real brutal rink.
That keeps coming up too, eh? They probably don't like hearing that on here. Is it that bad?
No, but they're getting a new one. So it's, how would I describe it?
I don't like the new rinks.
Fife.
I love Fife. What do you mean? I love Fife. What are you talking about? These new rinks, bunch of punks built those. They're big, open. They're too warm. You sweat too much. You're not alert. The fans aren't right on you. They're all, yuck.
How would I call it? Fife covered in dog shit.
Well, hopefully they're not looking for a new equipment manager someday. Hey?
It's not on my list of places to go, so I'm pretty sure I can badmouth the team in Hungary, Ferrivar. So it's not on my places to go unless there's a good 10K pay rise in it for me.
Well, then here's a question, just because I'm curious. In that league, where's the best road meal? Because you're going to different countries and shit. You're going to Hungary. You're in Austria. Where else do you go?
We go Hungary. Obviously, we're in Austria. We go to Italy. We go to Slovenia. We go to Czech. And we go to Slovakia. I think that's it. Bolzano and Pustertal are in Italy. You got Bratislava in Slovakia, where I'm going Friday. They always do a real good post-game carbonara. We go to Znojmo, which is in Czech. That's never fun. Rink's not fun. Food's not fun.
In Czech?
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not on my list.
It's a very international league, eh?
Yeah, that's why we're called the International Central European League. So with ICE, it's the ICE Hockey League.
Oh, and what's that stand for? International what?
International Central European Hockey League.
Okay. What are the salaries like for the players there?
Pretty good. Couple of sheets more than the UK. On par or above Del 2. You know.
So it's similar. It's similar to when I was doing it, right? Yeah. I always talked with teams in Austria, never did pull the trigger and switch from Bietigheim to go there, but it was kind of similar pay, but I guess it was somewhat of a step up, right, to go to that.
It's a little step up from Del 2.
Yeah.
Our travel
bigger ceiling, right? You could say, because you got Salzburg flaunting their shit at you, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Because
Salzburg are
if
paying
you do
guys
well,
crazy beans.
yeah, if you do well in that league, then it's like, hey, why don't you come down here? Hey, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we had a
disgusting.
guy here the season before I got here, and he's more than tripled his salary now because he went from here to Vienna. Then he was top scorer in Vienna. Now he's in Salzburg, and he's just high rolling, real
It's
high
awesome when
rolling.
you see it work out for a few guys. Like I would see guys that would come to the second league in Germany. It's kind of like North America. Your rookie year is your biggest one. Your first year in Europe's your biggest one. When people
Yeah, you got
first
to have
see
your
you,
foot on the gas.
you got to make a splash. If you make a splash your first year, the sky's the limit in Europe, right?
But and that's why Marty's first year in Europe was in Cardiff. He ran the show. Then the next year he ran the show, and he kept coming back. And I was like, "Well, how do they keeping him here?" Because I know what money he was earning his first year in Cardiff, and it was not a lot more than I was earning. And it's just like, what the fuck are they doing to keep you here? But that's Cardiff,
Well,
They,
but like the thing is you have so much fun and you
yeah,
love your life so much, and the hockey's fun, life's fun, the city's fun, the fans are fun, the owners
yeah,
treat you
exactly.
well. It's not it like even when you're going into Europe, like most guys, unless you're in the KHL, there's a few leagues where like you can earn substantial money. But other than that, you're not retiring after. You're going to be working, so you may as well
Yeah,
enjoy life while you're doing it, right?
yeah. You might as well enjoy the ride and with the roller coaster that hockey world is. You've just got to take for what you can.
You just got to go with it. But yeah, you got to try and get as high as you can too. That was one of my regrets. But when I look back on my thing, is like if I would have tried to climb the ladder, that next year was when I hurt my knee. And the only reason after missing a full year of hockey that I get a contract again is because I was loyal to Bietigheim and I wanted to stay
Yeah,
there. So then they resigned me because you miss a whole year of hockey as an import. They could have signed thousands of other people and they brought me back, and I have to say thanks to them for that, right?
well, it's a conveyor belt. There's always Canadians and Americans, younger, faster, fitter, stronger, hungrier, that just want to take your slot. And
All the time. It gets
that
exhausting.
that's what happens when you get a guy on a team that thinks his shit don't stink and he's a rock star, and you're like, "Hey, dude, I'll just make a phone call. I get a new one tomorrow. It's not a problem. We'll replace you."
Yeah, exactly. It's all about how good of a person you are. And that's, we now that's another
Totally.
reason our connection is speaking of the good people in hockey is when I start talking around, it's crazy how many of my buddies are still in hockey. And it's because they were good people. And then like you just saw Hendo get the skillz job in Cardiff, right?
But how did he get that? What skills has Hendo got?
He can do it, man. He's a pro at it now. And that, but you know
I
what?
know.
It
It's
is
crazy.
very
It's really good.
strange to think that I am talking to people in my shed about hockey. He was the guy that fought everybody and knew everybody. And now he's a skills coach and he was the fighter. And now it's just
Yeah.
very bizarre how it all
It's
works
insane.
out. But
I'm so pumped for him. I got to drop him a message, actually. I forgot. But
when
I'm
when
super
he
pumped
did
for
some
him.
training with my son's team there back in the summer during lockdown, and like he was such a pro at it, he was taking it so serious, and like you could tell like that's his passion, and like he's giving her at it, and like he's working his way up, right? Just like you in the equipment manager's world.
We're plugging along, we're going up the ladder. But I remember when Hendo was supposed to do his podcast with you, and he was just a little late and kept canceling on you because he was at the bar drinking with me in the summer.
I was so mad that day.
And me and Hendo was so drunk that day.
Well, like I because I'm really busy, and when I lock down a time and a day with a guy, I got like there's times where I only got like 20 minutes to spare here, and then we get on the call and he's at the bar with you, and I'm like, dude, I got stuff to do here. Like, you need to be ready. I was
And
upset.
I answered the FaceTime call with a beer, and I'm like, "What's going on, Wally? How you doing?" You're
And
like,
Hendo
"What are
thought he
you
was
doing now?"
so funny. God, he thought he was funny.
We were crushed.
Well, he podcasted all right, but he talked a little quiet though. I couldn't hear it with the lawnmower on. You know, I'm gonna have to get him to pronunciate next time.
Or maybe if you shave the beard down a little bit, you'll be able to lip read.
Yeah, or try and use his microwave in the morning in the rank, right? I wonder what it's gonna be. I wonder what it's gonna be like. Eh? Like, is he gonna be in the room and the guys are gonna try and use the toaster, the microwave in the morning, and he's just gonna be so grouchy?
The fuck are you doing? Turn that fucking thing off.
My fucking toaster! I got my fucking bagel right here. I'm fucking ready.
Just fuck. I could just imagine him like, you know, the little skate around just as practice is starting, where you're just firing pucks, and Hendo's just taking clappers. And I can imagine they're just whistling past Sammy Duggan's ear and shit.
I can't see Hendo taking a slap shot. He won't take a slap shot.
Oh,
but Hendo's got great drills. I actually think he's going to do great at it.
For sure.
He's going to be awesome at it. So congratulations, Hendo. You know,
big job, Hendo. Nice.
Yeah, way to go. We're going to get you on to talk about it here soon. Quit playing hard to get. Anyways, you got a Swedish coach now. That's got to be different, eh? So
yeah, I got
that's another.
Swedish
so
coaches.
Back to the history of this. People should listen to episode whatever we did before. But 20, right?
24.
But the thing is I was your recommendation to get to Graz, right? Some dude called me.
Yep.
He wasn't calling me from Sweden. He called me from Collingwood, Ontario. I don't remember his name, but he called me from Doug Mason. So that guy is the guy you got to Graz with. But now you're with a Swedish fella. Does he like you as much?
It seems to be. To be. Jens Gustafsson with the assistant coach Tommy Sjödin. Tommy played in the NHL for St. Louis. So, but yeah, I get on. I stuck a sign to their room because our goalie coach is also Swedish. So I stuck a sign to their dressing room. It just says "Little Sweden." And they came in. They were like, "The fuck did this come from?" And I was like, "Yeah, a new sign about a chicken," like the Swedish chef.
Okay, so here's a question. When the 3 new Swede coaches come in, who's picking the team? Who picked Marty? Was it those guys?
It was the coach looked at Marty, Jens. So Jens looked at Marty and then obviously discussed it with the GM, Bernd Vollman. And then I get the call. Well, I say I get the call. I'm 2 rooms down. So they just walked downstairs and said, "Hey, what do you know about Joey Martin?" And I was like, "Well, the GOAT, little hammer, but the GOAT." And they're like, "Well," so I just gave him a little rundown of what I know about Marty. And obviously he was in Stavanger. They looked up his stats, watched some video because they got that system in stats where they can pretty much watch any in their shifts.
You got to stop touching your headphones, dude. That makes noises. I can hear it.
It's because it was falling out. I just had to put it back in.
Oh.
So, so we had a conversation about Marty, and then they were like, "So, you want to make a call?" I was like, "I'm not sure if this is still his number." So that's when I messaged certain podcast host because he'd just been on a certain podcast.
I was just curious because Swedish coaches like to bring in Swedish players. So I was just curious if that coach came in after the fact or before the fact or what. So that's good. He was part of the recruiting process because you get a different nationality coach that didn't bring you in, man. It can change things in a real hurry.
Oh, it can be just absolute chaos because, like you say, whatever nationality the coach is from, you know they're going to bring in guys from their nationality because that's where their connections are.
If I became a coach, I'd be bringing in all my connections and the type of people I want, right?
So you'd be bringing in kebab shop owners?
No guys like that come on the pod, but like if they were like us but younger and played hockey, I'd have to find people like that. I don't know if they still exist.
No, I don't think the young kids do the drinking and eating junk food and stuff anymore.
I never ate junk food. I just ate kebabs too often.
Yeah, and then I don't think that the young kids don't go to the bar so much anymore.
It's because of phones, though. You can't go because then everybody in town knows about it because someone puts it on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. And next thing you know, everybody knows you went out for a couple beers. And sometimes it's like, well, we just went for one, but people don't understand that, right?
No, that's why I like being the equipment guy because no one cares if the equipment guy is having a K-bop and 4 beers the night before a game.
Right.
You know, skates are sharpened the day before the game, so I can get in one.
Exactly. You get to still live. These young punks, they get to stay home and play video games. Sounds fun, eh?
Play video games and
isn't that what they do?
Watch their shifts. Yeah, that's all they do on the bus. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're all playing video games on their phones against each other. Okay.
Really? That's what on their phones?
Yeah, they play games on their phones against each other. They're just watching TV shows.
Did people still talk though? Like actually, like face to face, are they talking? Because I remember when iPads started, when iPads first started, I was on Bietigheim, and we would play games on it, but like it was like 5 guys around playing Risk together on the iPad, right?
Yeah.
Does that sort of thing still happen, or they're on their own phone and they're not talking to each other?
When it depends on what trips we're on. If we're on a short trip, we get the little bus. If we're on the big trip, we get the double-decker bus. And then on the double-decker, it's staff downstairs and players upstairs. And it's obviously on the way home from those trips, it's a little more rowdy.
Way more fun. Yeah. They don't want you guys around.
No, and that's what I say. Like, I'm like, you know, there's always one player who's that little strange player who wants to hang out and be the coach's buddy. So there's always one player who wants to come and sit downstairs. And there's always then there's me. Fuck off. Players upstairs. I'm busy drinking and stretching out.
Some of those guys, though, that I realize it now, some of those guys that you could call them what you want, but they would go down there and talk with coaches all the time. And, you know, some of us would be like, why are you doing that? But those guys became coaches, right? They just loved it so much they had to keep talking about it, right? Where the game ended, I wanted to talk about playing cards with you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I like your episode of Reds there. He knows where he wants to go with his transition, and he's now a student of the coaching game. So he's doing that. He's hanging out with Lordo, fucking gag ball, fucking eating garlic if he feels sick. I remember Lordo munching on cloves of garlic.
What?
Doing? Oh, if he ever felt like a cold or a flu, or, you know, was going around,
he'd eat garlic.
Cloves of garlic.
Like roast? Were they roasted?
Nope, straight out the fridge. He'd peel them and
like
just
raw,
throw them
straight up.
Yeah.
I played with like Kazakhstanians. That would, if they felt like they were getting sick, what did they do? They took shots of vodka. Nope, shots of vodka with a ton of pepper in it, I think it was. And then you would go to sleep. You do that right before sleep, and then wrap yourself in a blanket. And apparently you sweat like crazy. And it was, I guess it's like having a sauna, but you do it by drinking vodka. You'd have to ask Andre Kaufman from Bietigheim my first year.
That's not for me. I don't like being hot.
I don't. Oh, I like the sauna
24/7. Yeah, I like the sauna, but I'm in shorts 24/7, 365.
You still wearing like the basketball shoes like that you could dunk?
Yeah.
Are you really? Like
I'm
pump
still
up
in my Jordans.
High tops, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jordans. It's either Jordans or LeBrons. All my Reeboks died. So the boys ask me every year.
What do they think of your fashion in Austria?
The guys are always like, "How many fucking pairs of shoes you have?" Yeah, and we have a Nike outlet like 10 minutes from my house, so I just roll in. And some days
this is those financial decisions we talk about, right? Dease?
Yes, this is the financial decisions.
Yeah,
where I just burn money on random shit that I don't need, have no use for, but I'm like, oh, it's shiny, I'll buy that.
I haven't bought a new pair of shoes in a long time.
I haven't bought a pair in about 2 weeks, so that's good.
I've bought new shirts though. You know, bought 2 ales and hockey tail shirts. That's pretty exciting. So hopefully people will tip me, and then I can make more and hats, and then Wait
a second.
Oh, you have a 2 ales and hockey tails hat, and you're not wearing it, you little punk.
Hang on, Wally. Give me a fucking break here.
Well, there you go. God damn. Look at that. You're wearing one of my hats in Austria. Gosh darn it. I'm pretty well half-mast right now, Dease.
Cost me $20 in
looking at
import
you
fees
on
too.
Zoom is getting me hot and bothered because you're wearing my hat. Isn't that weird?
If I had a kebab, you'd be really sweating.
Oh dear. What sauce are you putting on your kebabs these days? Are you going
Nothing,
to shut up?
just
You gotta
straight,
put
just a little salt, maybe some lemon, salt and lemon. That's about it.
you're not putting like the white sauce on, like the tzatziki type stuff?
No, it's too much. I'm no good with spice.
There's no spice in that.
I'm no good with anything.
That'd be
Me
drier
and
than
my
a fart. You
digestive
can't eat that without sauce. That'd be just that.
No, they're
That
greasy over here. They just slip down, you know?
I don't think so. You need sauce, man. That's weird.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. Well, how does it change when you get new coaches as an equipment manager? Change your life big time or little time? Is it like players? Because getting coaches changes your life big time as a player.
No, it's not. We were lucky because Jens was the assistant coach here, so they just promoted him up to head coach. So not a lot really changed.
So he was the Canadian guy's assistant?
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
The Canadian guy?
The guy that called me.
Doug's in Bolzano now.
Same league.
Same league. He's in Bolzano. They're in the Champions League. They're in the second round. That's where Fawns was last year, Bolzano.
Oh, okay. So would he have? So he might have taken somewhat of a step down to go to Favar.
I would say so.
Really? Because
money-wise,
that Swan is just gorgeous to watch skate through a neutral zone.
Yeah, probably one of the best natural skaters going. But
oh
he came through Grand Rapids system.
Everything above his hips didn't even move.
Oh, just like you say, the Swan. The legs were going 100 miles an hour, and upstairs he was just cruising.
Effortless.
But I was surprised Fawns didn't go back to Bolzano.
So they must have had a good year if they're in the Champions League then, eh?
Yeah, they just gone through to the second round. I don't know who they're playing.
Either way, one agent once told me that money talks. So maybe money talked, right?
Yeah, and I know in Fehérvár in Hungary, there's some big tax break as a write-off if you sponsor a sports team or something. So,
oh dear,
that's how it works. I have no idea. I'm not going there, so
yeah,
don't care.
No, not your concern at all. So another question. I don't think I asked this one. How's Dan Siemens' team doing? Because I don't think he's got a very good budget this year. How's his team doing?
His team's on par with us right now. Not winning a bunch. We shut him out 2-0. I haven't spoke to Dan in a while. He's got my buddy as his backup netminder, Thomas Hornicle. He was our backup here too.
Is his nickname Horny?
Yes.
Hornicle. Gotta be horny.
So
carry on.
So Horns is there, and they went through an ownership change 2 summers ago, and it turned into a bit of a shit show. So they're in kind of a rebuild stage. But
yeah,
their team's okay. Their team's not so bad. They'll grow.
Right. And what are the import rules in that league now? It was always a point system where, like, if you're a Canadian,
still don't understand it. Yeah, it's like 1 point if you're over 23 Austrian, 2 points? And then if you played for the national team, you're
worth more points. Yeah.
And if you're under a certain age, Canadian, Swede, whatever you are, you're 3 points. But if you're over 25, 26 foreigner, you're counted as 4 points, and you're only allowed something like 56, 60 points max.
And then it's got to get really confusing when you get all those different countries involved, because they're kids that are under 23 or whatever. They're different levels and from different countries, right? So like the Hungarians might not be as good as wherever, right? And so I guess a lot of it depends on your junior program or not.
It's so good. And that's how Bolzano were always so good, because they bring in Italian Canadians,
right?
You know, like Benty was in Cardiff. If they have Italian heritage, fucking great grandfather, then they suddenly manage to swing a passport.
And
So I
next thing
hear.
you
I
know,
can't
that
confirm this.
and then they get paid
Yeah.
just a touch more.
They get paid a touch more. They don't class as an import because they've got Italian passport that just got granted to them. And
it's like
I
the
think
guys getting the
year,
Germans passport.
Yeah.
You get that stuff. You
golden.
got the right grandparent born in the right spot, changes your life, right?
Yeah, you're golden. You get paid bucks because you don't class as the import anymore.
I got a funny just little stat here the research team wrote down on the notes. Do you want to hear this funny stat?
Go.
Here are some of the Brits folks abroad for the UK listeners, which is most of our listeners. Okay.
Here we go.
Here is the Brits abroad. Pete Russell, coaching in Germany. Liam Kirk with the Arizona Coyotes. Bouncy in Slovakia. And this fellow right here, Dease. Brits abroad, folks. 2 ales and hockey tales.
I think I was the second Brit to make it out.
It's awesome, man.
I first, and then I managed to escape.
Your accent doesn't seem very strong anymore.
What, my Welsh accent?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get real strong if you like that, you know.
Did you just speak Welsh?
A tiny bit. My brothers and sisters can all speak Welsh. They went to Welsh schools, but I just went to normal English school.
I always found that very interesting part of the country is that the signs for all the streets would have Welsh on them, but nobody actually would speak Welsh anywhere.
No, it's the most pointless waste of paint on the street sign going, if you ask me.
But people just don't want to let it die, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's growing language. It's growing again in Wales, but only
like for fun, Wales. Like just to know it, just because you don't want to let it die, I guess, eh?
I don't know.
It's a weird language, man. There's a lot of letters going on.
There's a lot of D's, there's a lot of L's. So it's like, you know, you try to say that the place name Llandudno, or the other one that's got a train station that goes go, go, go. You'll have to Google that one. And it's tough. It's really tough. So the further west you go from Cardiff, then the more Welsh is spoken, I think.
Yeah. See, I wish I would have gone west. I think it's beautiful out there, right? But I didn't really get out that way. I guess I had little kids when I was there. I didn't really do much anything.
No, Colby was 3 and Zoe was fresh.
Very fresh. She wasn't even there at the start. She was born there.
No, because you had to bring Colby to practice, and you were like, "Hey, Dease, watch Colby while we practice." Okay, I got it.
Do you remember that practice? You didn't have him at all.
No.
I was on the ice trying to practice, and you had Colby, and you were in charge. And next thing you know, where was he? He was up in.
He was on the top row in the stands, zipping around, and I can burst out the dressing room like just startled.
And I was trying to practice, and all of a sudden I see my kid right at the top of the rink, and there's no Dease anywhere.
It was like something out of a comedy show, watching a 2.5, 3-year-old sprinting, and a fat man with a bum knee sprinting after him. I was like, "Come back here!"
And then Lordo tried to get mad at me for wanting to focus on hockey, and I'm looking at my kid at the top of the rafters.
Just scooting around, and me jumping around after him. "Come back here, you little bastard!"
And then we'd probably have a game that night. I'd get naked, you'd spray paint me, and I'd do a pregame speech. Eh?
Oh yeah, those are the days. Turn the lights off and burst in the room.
And this is why you talk to people on lunch break, because it just makes me so much happier for the rest of the day. Thank you, Dease.
You're welcome, Wally. There's actually, because we're on a skid at the minute, we haven't been doing so well. There's talk of the Crusader coming back.
Really? Is this Swedish coach? They're a bit reserved. I don't think they're into what we're into with that sort of stuff.
I just tell him I'm going to read the team lineup that night and not tell him anything else.
Okay.
Get the Crusader out.
I think, well, if things need to change, then they need to change, Dease, and somebody's got to do something.
Exactly.
Right? Stop touching your ears. Gosh, I can't even hear you now.
I've got these new AirPod things, and I haven't figured out the
how to get them to stay in your ear, because we've been hearing you just jam it right back in there like 10 times now.
It's one of my financial decisions. The Clee wasn't good. Fucking falling back out my ears all the time.
It's funny stuff. Okay. Who are the powerhouses in that league? Because I always know the German powerhouses, but Austrian league, I never played there, so I don't really know. But I know it's Salzburg, and then there's what, Villach, and it used to be Linz. Now it's not them, right?
No, it's not Linz. It's not Villach anymore.
No.
No, it's and it used to be Vienna, but this year they stink too.
Right, Vienna. That was the other one.
This year it's always Salzburg. You know, they got Red Bull money.
Well, that's all. If you have money, that's all.
Yeah.
Like, and folks, don't forget to tip if you're enjoying this episode. When I ever tell you that there's a website or where it is, don't forget to tip. So then, I can make shirts and hats and give them.
There's
to
other
people.
Websites I've been told about, Wally. I've seen these. No, I haven't seen them. I've been told about these websites where if you watch them and you tip, then they do things if you hit a certain monetary goal. So I've heard.
Oh, you're saying I'd have to do something if I made so much money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, there's. Nah. Anyways, no.
So back to the powerhouses.
No, but then I could also donate to charities too. And I actually, one of the, like, what I think would be cool is if people did donate these, is I think my first, not charity, but thing I could donate to would be to sponsor my minor hockey team that I coach and help the parents pay for the tournaments, right?
Yeah.
People helping people, folks. It's a powerful thing. Need. Yeah.
Well, the community's got to come together because hockey is crazy expensive these days.
Well, and I think I could help them out by talking to people in my shed. And you imagine how amazing that would be, is that I could help all these parents around here by talking to my old friends in my shed.
Well, talking, you if you could just get a couple of boxes of tape from someone, then that's huge for a minor league kids team and stuff. But I can give you a phone number of a guy that was also a Cardiff Devil that is now the director at Bauer.
Oh dear.
So I'll give you that later.
I don't think I need it. I think I just want to have tips from the fans and people.
You should get him on the pod and ask him how he went from Cardiff
That's
Devil
true.
studying at the Met.
You're right. What? He went to the Met too?
No, actually, he went to just normal Cardiff University before they switched to the Met.
Right, not the good one, not the Met. Yeah.
No, not the Met, but he did his MBA in Cardiff, and then went on. He had a buddy in Bauer that got him in, and he got in, and he's now director at Sticks Worldwide.
Well, they do make the best sticks, so maybe I should talk to him about why they stopped making the P106, is it
102 flex?
Right, P106. 102 flex.
102 flex.
Yeah, like, what's your problem, buddy? Like, how do you stop making that stick? That I made a career off of that thing, right?
You know that they literally make two curves these days: P28, P92. That's it.
Yeah,
everything else.
It's because the less they make, the more money they make, and that's a decision this fella probably made. And I just want to know why the Linden got cut instead of the Lindros, right?
What was there? There was the Lindros. There was so many curves back in the day.
Yeah, and it was exciting. You go to the store and be like, what am I going to get? Now there's only two.
Yeah.
Oh.
You go to the store.
But think about how every player needs different curves and different patterns, and the way they skate changes how their stick lies on the ice, and the way they shoot, it all changes. And like, I tried different curves, and when there used to be a ton of different curves and you try them, and you realize like you can be a really awful hockey player with the wrong stick.
For sure, it's crazy. And then you get other guys that it doesn't matter what stick you give them, what lie you give them, what curve, they're still awesome. And you're just like, how do you do that? But you can transform a player's game by giving them the right curve, the right lie, the right flex for them.
If you can't pass it where you want to and you can't shoot it where you want to, you got to be a really good skater.
Yeah, good skater, good hitter.
Yeah, I can't do those.
Not with that knee or that barrel.
Right. I didn't have those when I was younger. I was better. I didn't have a barrel. Remember when in Cardiff, when I lost all that weight there?
Yeah, but you found it pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, knee
That's what gag
injuries.
ball will do to you.
Knee injuries, buddy. Knee injuries. What else? Do you got anything else before we shut it down? I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I don't think I do.
No, we just got to get Marty on and get a catch up with Marty.
Well, the thing is, man, like when you do it, and then people kept telling me I was going to run out of guys, and I was doing too many, and I'm like,
you'll never run out of guys.
Well, and if you ask questions that don't put people in bad spots, and like you don't talk about things we don't need to talk about, like I don't see why people wouldn't want to come on and have a memory for their family and their kids and their wives. Like I love it. I love doing this for people, so that they have it. I love that the fans are into it. I think the whole thing is just so funny.
And the docu like you say, a spider web.
It is, and everybody knows everybody, right?
Someone, yeah, or they have a link to someone.
Well, and then once you start talking to people, it brings up more things you can talk about, because I didn't realize he knew him and he knew him and what happened there. And all of a sudden you can do this forever, and you could do more of them if you had time. Yeah,
it just spider. It never ends. It's just the spider web of connections.
Dease, I texted you like 15 minutes before we started this, and we just talked for, I guess, over an hour. So we better shut her down. But like, and that's like, and now I know what's up, and I know what's going on, and I know what's going on in Austria. And like, if we wouldn't have done this, I'd have no clue. And this is why, as soon as we texted and we decided we were doing this, my heart just started racing at an abnormal rate.
That's probably because you ran. Took more than 2 steps. That's why your heart goes up.
No, I'm pretty well jacked now that I'm in my shed, man. I don't work out or anything. But I'm not as fat as I was.
Yeah, I wish it was the same for me.
I guess you don't have to work as hard now, eh?
No.
Like you're not doing it all by yourself. You used to do everything by yourself. It used to be like the coaches and everything. Really?
Yeah, I still. But how do you? I don't have an assistant.
So then, how do you refrain from walking around enough?
I'm just smart how I do my work, and I've got 2 of everything now. Because we're a Bauer team, and I just told Bauer, hey, I need 2 of this. So I've got 2 sets of practice socks, 2 sets of everything. So it's wash one, wear one, wash one, wear one. I don't have to stay at the rink all day waiting for it to wash and dry.
That's living. No, yeah. I remember you used to be there all day. And being a Bauer team, I'll give you guys a free whatever you want to call it. But like their sticks were how I was good. When I used other sticks, I wasn't as good. And their curve was what I needed for my stature. Maybe there's not enough hockey players with my stature. Maybe that's why. But thank you for making good sticks, because CCM and Reebok, you're a bunch of punks that don't know how to make hockey sticks. And
you can't get them right now anyway. It's 12-week wait if you want a CCM stick.
Well, who would want one?
No.
But no, seriously, it's great to catch up with you, buddy. And
your brother.
And the thing is like in 6 months, there's going to be a lot of other things happen in the hockey world that we could catch up on with again, right? So everybody that thought I'd run out of people, you're so wrong. Right?
You'll, like you say, you'll never, ever run out. But whether people want to listen to me talk, it's another thing.
And you know what? It doesn't. We can just do enough of them that if people don't want to listen to you, we'll just do another one.
Well, you got the Huddy monster on in a few days, so that's going to be a disaster.
I can't wait to see him. Gosh darn it, he is one of the best people around, and it was coming up to 100 episodes. I'm like, there is no way I can go 100 episodes without Carl Hudson in my life. But he was a half an episode with Pigsy jumped on halfway through, but it wasn't like about him, and we need to have one about Carl because he's awesome.
I remember when he got his hair cut. That time when he went from the long hair to the short hair, and I walked in the dressing room and he was the only guy in there, and I said, excuse me, but he can't be in here. And he turned around and I was like, holy fuck, it's Teddy.
He had some straggly hair there for a bit, you could say. He's really cleaned up his act as a father, looks real clean cut, handsome. Way to go, Carl.
Way to go, Huddy.
No,
Bet you
don't.
he's still a disaster after 3 beers, though.
Well, I guess we're gonna
Bet
find
you,
out.
yeah, bet you Crazy Carl still gets out of his cage now and again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think any of us changed that much, right?
No,
I mean, we
never
are
changed.
who we are, and we like living, and we like having fun, and we have responsibilities now. But I'm sure Carl's handling those just fine too, right?
Special road trips. I can imagine it's just one big gong show. And poor Ali when he comes home from those road trips.
Hey, you can't talk bad about people on here, remember? But
Oh,
yeah,
I
no, you're
miss
right.
Eddie.
I remember the flight back from Belfast when him and I had beers on the plane. This was when we first got to Cardiff, and boy,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, we got in trouble that day
yeah. I remember those heads spinning around.
when the waitress kept coming back with the 5 pound beers.
And we were sat in Belfast Airport at that table, just ordering beers because I'm pretty sure the flight got delayed.
I'm pretty sure like they have
They're like, yeah, we'll just take
yeah. That was back when we could still have beers at the airport. Now the whole thing's
Yeah.
changed, eh?
Yeah, no more of that. I just
Sorry,
remember
guys, if
Lordo
we
coming
ruined that
back
for you.
shouting.
We were just having fun. Sorry, players, if we ruined beers in the airport for you. We were just having fun, right?
And we had a lot of it.
And this has
No
been
Fun Nation, get it.
This has been another episode, right? Are we done?
Another one.
Is that it? Are you done?
That's it. Let's kill it.
Okay.
Can
This
it?
has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Dease and Wally.